Last time around when we did the webinar, towards the end of the webinar, in the last 15 minutes or so, I went over what we call the business liquidation strategy. And everybody loved it, and people wanted a lot more details. There's a lot of nuances to this. And I kind of went back and I decided to write everything out, and I prepared it in a form of a plan for everybody who wants to follow it, which really the idea is for you guys to be able to hit at least 4 figures in your first 30 to 45 days as an affiliate alone, okay? And now I know this name kind of sounds scary at first, like the business liquidation strategy, like something that you hear in an MBA lecture or something. But I mean, on the streets, this is known as the site flipping method, yo. So that's just the street name for it, which I obviously can't pull the accent for. But
you were close. You were so close.
Okay, so this is really not as fancy of an idea as you might be thinking. And what we're really doing is we are taking our whole stuff that you already understand from doing eBay stuff, the drop shipping side. You already understand that you're gonna, buy stuff and sell it for a high price, or actually you're gonna do in the opposite order. You're gonna sell it at a higher price, and then you're gonna buy that stuff. This is actually the same thing, but instead of selling items to people, we're actually going to be selling mini businesses. We're going to create mini DS Domination businesses, and we're actually going to go ahead and start selling them. Okay, so let me explain how this works. So it's actually very simple. I'm going to explain the strategy, and I'm going to explain step by step exactly what you guys need to do, and then we'll go on to some pretty neat updates which will allow you guys to make more money. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with this setup. And here's how we set this thing up. So let's say that this is your account in DS Domination right now, okay? We're going to call this account Roger123, okay? So this is your current account in DS Domination. Now, before you begin this method, what you will want to do is create a second account under this account, okay? So you're basically going to refer an account under yourself. This could be an account for your wife, it could be for your friend, it could be for anybody that you want. But basically, you have to have control over this account. You're going to refer a new account under this account, and let's call that Donuts, okay? So we'll call this the Donuts account. This is our for sale account, okay? This is going to be our mini business that we're going to be selling, okay? So we've created this account, Donuts. Everything should be pretty clear so far. Now we need to create a front, basically, so that we can actually consider this a whole business. To create the whole business, what we need next is we need a site, okay? And even if you don't do a site necessarily, what you need is you need a portfolio, okay? So I'm going to just say right here, you need a portfolio of what's included, okay, in this business. And here's what I suggest that you guys do. You will want to include, obviously, the account that we will be selling here, but you will also want to include a couple of videos. So a couple of videos that you make and put them on YouTube. Squidoo Lens, if you don't know what Squidoo is, I'll show you guys in a second. Squidoo or a WordPress blog, a free blog, something like that. And ideally, you would also include a website, okay? So like a simple domain name. And if you guys don't understand how to do that, don't worry about it. We're going to cover everything. But just a simple website along with the whole thing. Now, so basically at this point, you're going to say, this is what our business is. Finally, you should also consider, if you have Market Extreme, for example, or if you know about list building and you're building a list in your Aweber or GetResponse account, you should also consider including subscribers, okay? Now, here's basically what's going to happen. You are going to go out there, you're going to create this system, and the idea is that we're going to get some sales under Donut, okay, under the Donuts account. Now, let's say that under the Donuts account, we will now go ahead and start promoting the Donuts link, and we're going to get some traffic from Craigslist or Market Extreme or doing whatever you guys want to do, a postcard campaign. You're going to do any of those things, and this now you're going to get, maybe let's say you get 5 pro sales and 2 elite sales, okay, or let's say you get 3 pro sales and 2 elite sales, okay? So I'm just going to say that you get 3 sales, and this one is P, which means these two have pro, and this one has pro and elite, okay? Now, understand that none of these things have to play a role. These are literally just extra value that you're including in there. They don't actually have to play a role in you getting these sales. No matter how you got these sales, you're just going to include the sales overall. Okay. And now we're going to finish our build up. Okay. That's our second step. We are very, very close to getting this done. So you could have this whole thing done in your first 2 or 3 days, considering if you know how to generate traffic. If you don't know how to generate traffic, follow the training, use Craigslist, use marketing, whatever you want to do. But get a few sales in here. At this stage, you're now ready to actually begin the liquidation method. Okay? And here is how the liquidation method goes. What you're going to do is you're going to now sell this business right here. This is going to be your business that you're going to be selling. Now, I want you to consider at this point what your costs are and what your total income is. Remember that this donut account right now has an income of, from the 3 pro sales, that's $60, plus 2 elite sales, that's $100. So this account has an income of $160 per month, okay? And you only need to have had this account in place for a week, 2 weeks. You don't really need to have it for a very long period of time. And I suggest that you don't go beyond the $160 up to $200 a month income on this donut account, okay? Does everybody follow along so far? Have I said anything confusing or anything that is scary or any words that you might not have understood? Okay, so everybody understands. Actually, you know what? Here's a test. Roger, did you understand everything I said? Okay, he's mute, so that's fine. Anyway, so everybody says that they understood, so that's fine. At this point, this account, this donut account, is basically generating us $160 a month. Now, here's what we're going to do with this whole thing. We're going to add up the value of these YouTube videos or the Squidoo lenses or whatever, the website that we have, and any subscribers we have generated. Let's say that we have generated 200 subscribers in this process. We have built a list of 200 subscribers. We're going to take this whole thing together. We're going to now create a valuation. And here's how you create the valuation. Since this is a recurring billing.
You're getting quite a few questions on where the $160 a month come from and a little bit of confusion in the help desk.
Okay. I'll repeat that in just 1 second, okay? So, and yeah, let me clarify this quickly first. Actually, this should be 130 because that's how many commissions you're getting. You're getting $10 for each pro sale in commission, and you're getting $50 for the elite sales. So your total commission on this account is $130. Okay, so all we have done is we had this account. We created a second account named Donuts. And we went out and we promoted the link, the affiliate link for the Donuts account, and we got 3 people who signed up. 2 of them purchased Elite, and our commissions from that account for the Donuts account are $130 a month. Okay. Now remember, there's also some extra commissions we're making on this Roger 123 account. Remember that we get 10% on level 2, but we're not going to care about that right now. That's going to be our final thing that we're going to worry about. Right now, all we're interested in this is this Donuts account. Now, here's how you evaluate the value of this business. Since we are getting recurring billing, okay, since we are actually getting this recurring billing for $130 a month, we're going to immediately apply a very simple 10x multiplier. Okay, 10x means 10x the monthly income. So on this account, we're going to say that the value just from the revenue for this account is $1,300. Okay, then we're going to add in a certain amount of value for the subscribers. If we are selling a list, we're going to include a value for that list. I suggest that if you are selling a list of 200, then you should actually apply a $2 valuation per subscriber in there. So the list of 200 people would be equivalent to $400. And then you will add in your YouTube videos, Squidoo, and all of that stuff. You're not going to charge anything for that. You're going to say that's included as part of that. You're going to not assign any value to that whatsoever. And at this point, your total value comes to $1,700. What we're going to do now is we're going to take this whole account, this whole business that we just set up, we're going to go out there and we're going to actually flip it. We're going to sell this account and the YouTube video and everything else that comes with it and that list that we built. We're going to basically pass it over to a different buyer. And we're going to go out there, and we can do this in many different places. For example, sites like Flippa, and there are many different forums where we can do this as well. And we're going to sell this. And we will usually get somewhere between $1,500 to $2,000 for this whole business. So what we did is in about 3 weeks, or however long it takes you guys to generate 3 sales, we created a system which is really worth about $1,500 now. We're going to go out there and we're going to sell it. So in your first 2 to 3 weeks, you can turn that into a $1,700 income, okay? But it gets better than that. What you will need to do at this point is whoever purchases this from you, you'll go out there and you list it on Flippa, just like you list stuff on eBay for people to buy. You'll go and list it on flippa.com, for example. You'll say, here's my website for sale. It comes with these videos and the Squidoo stuff. It comes with a recurring billing income of $130 a month right now. You get these recurring billing income transferred over to you, and here's the list that comes with it as well. And that's basically how you're going to present it. I'll actually give you guys a template for exactly what to say in the listing as well. And somebody, or actually a lot of people are going to show interest in that, and that's why I suggested don't go beyond the $1,500, $2,000 price point. And a lot of people are going to show a lot of interest in this, and they're going to go ahead and purchase this for $1,700 from you. Now here's what you've done. You've created an income of $1,700 for you instantly, and you're going to take this, and now you'll go out and you'll create another account, let's say Turkey, under the original Roger123 account, okay? So we had Roger123, that's our main account. We created donuts under it. We got 3 sales, 4 sales, 5 sales, whatever the number of sales under that account, and we flipped that whole business. We liquidated that whole business, and we got a bunch of upfront money for it. Now we're going to take this upfront money, the $1,700, and we're going to use that for advertising or whatever you want to do basically with it. You can take half of that for advertising, and we're going to quickly build up this Turkey account. And this time around, we'll probably do more sales than before because now we have some money to spend towards it. And we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to have a list of subscribers. We're going to build a little website for it. We're going to build a little Squidoo lens or a WordPress blog or whatever, and we're going to do a couple videos on YouTube. We're going to combine this, and now this Turkey account is going to be worth a little bit more than last time. And we're going to sell this, let's say, the exact same strategy. We will now sell this for $2,500, okay? And then we can repeat this a couple of times, and then you want to stop. You actually don't want to keep repeating this over and over. You can if you want to, but here's what's going to start happening once you've done this 2 or 3 times. Remember the guy who bought this donuts account from you? Let's say he's Joe. Okay, Joe came in and he bought the donuts account because he wants to really go out there and build his business as well. So he bought a business from you for $1,700, which was generating $130 a month. He purchases this from you, and he basically now will start growing that business as well. And that's where the key is. Now you have basically got somebody in, Joe, who is going to go ahead and continue building this account out for you guys. Okay, and the same thing over here. Somebody's going to purchase Turkey. Let's say this is John, and John is going to start building out the Turkey account as well. Now you're going to have these people who are building out these accounts, who are actually going to be spending their own money advertising, and they're really going for it, and you just basically help them out in that process. Just tell them a little bit about, here's how I advertise, or here's where I think you should advertise, things like that. Really, it's minimal support because DSD is so automated, and all you're doing now is making money up front for these accounts, plus getting downline members who are really go-getters, and they're building this whole thing out for you, and you're still collecting all of this income on the main Roger123 account. Okay, our end goal is to build up our income on the Roger123 account, and we are using this whole strategy to actually build up a lot of upfront income as well as build up long-term income on this account. Okay, that's the whole idea behind this. Okay, do you guys understand the idea? It's fine if you don't understand the specifics or your questions about the specifics, but if you guys understand the whole idea behind this, then just say, yeah, I understand the idea. Okay, brilliant. There you go. So everybody should be able to understand that what we have going here is you don't need to actually generate $3,000 worth of sales in DS Domination to actually make $3,000 because you're actually flipping the whole business. You're actually getting the 10 times monthly income for that. Okay. Now this is how things work out in the real world as well. What happens is people start a company, and then once the company is profitable or they can show that it's making some money, they'll go ahead and sell that company to somebody else, usually an investor or a bigger firm. That bigger firm will pay them a bunch of money, and eventually that bigger firm will bring an IPO, and that's how they get more money. Okay, this is the same thing that happens in the real world. We're just doing it on the digital world, and we're doing it a lot more quickly, and we're doing it basically in a very easy format. Now, let's understand, because I see a few questions about, well, aren't they promoting DST? That's exactly what's happening. John and Joe are now actually promoting DS Domination, but they're in your downline. So they're going to continue promoting DS Domination and managing DS Domination, and in a way, you have just recruited two of the best people in online marketing without ever recruiting them. They've actually purchased a business from you. They're going to go out and build that business, and they're going to make a lot of money doing that for themselves, but they're incidentally also going to make a bunch of money for you because you are up here too. Okay? So would a real-world example help? Would you like me to give a real-world example with this?
That would be awesome. I tell you what, if you want to freeze your screen and hop on Skype for me, I just sent you a picture. I was looking at some sites, guys, while he was doing this, of people that are selling websites and businesses that are earning currently like between 300 and 1,000 a month, and they're selling between 6,000 and 23,000. There's a snapshot. I just took that snapshot and sent it over to him. So kind of gives you an idea. If you look at the earnings category, it's like the fourth category from the left. It shows you what the site's currently earning a month, and then it shows you the price of that category to the far left, and people are buying those. You can look, someone sold a business that was $401 earning a monthly basis, and they sold it for $8,000. So this isn't, I mean, it's been done in our industry kind of in secret for a long time. But this is something that that no company is going to share with you. And
and actually, it's not even in secret. A lot of us have been doing it for long. I've actually been flipping websites for a very long time, and I've been buying websites as well. I mean, if you added up everything, all the buying and selling that we have done of websites, even before DST, okay, I'm counting only stuff before DST, it adds up to about $400,000 worth of it. Okay, so I've done this a whole lot. So that's why I'm telling you guys from experience, this is a very, very doable thing. It's actually very, very quick and easy to do if you just do the things properly and if you follow the process properly. So this is awesome work, by the way, Kev. Thank you for pulling these out. So you guys can see, and you can see actually how many of these already sold. You can see down here, this one sold for 15,500, 22,500. But like I said, from my experience, when you're starting out, you really want to keep below the $2,000 price point, because below the $2,000 price point, you get a lot more people very interested in this kind of stuff, and they'll pay you good money for it, and they'll get going on it very quickly. And they are go-getters. What they'll do is they'll ask you, hey, what did you do to promote this? What did you do to build up this income? And you will basically just tell them, oh, I went to Craigslist and I did this, or I got Market Extreme and I did that, or whatever. You just give them the specific thing that you do to get sales, which could be as simple as, yeah, I just use the training that they have in Market Extreme in DS Domination, and let them go out and start generating the traffic. You can tell them I did solo ads or whatever you want to tell them. And when they go out and they do that, they're now actually duplicating your results, but you don't have to teach them how to. They already know how to. They're just going to ask you, hey, what do you do to get these sales? And they'll go out and get a whole lot more sales for you guys. Okay. Okay, so let me give you like a real world example of how these kind of things happen in the real world. So hopefully you will understand this concept a lot better, and you'll be able to do it much more easily. So let's say in the real world that I started a business selling oven mitts. Okay, I start selling oven mitts, and let's say in third month, I start building an income of, let's say, $1,000 a month selling those oven mitts. So here's my little ma and pa shop. Here's my little business called H, and a bigger company comes, and I'm selling the oven mitts. And then along comes a bigger company. They are not interested in selling oven mitts. Okay, their interest is in, I want to sell oven mitts. So the same way, John and Joe are not interested in eBay necessarily, but this company comes and they say, oh, you're doing a business, and the business is doing quite well for you. We will purchase your business from you, and they will give me 10 to 12 times the monthly revenue, plus they'll give me money for the inventory and stuff like that. The exact same thing is happening here. John and Joe don't really know about DS Domination. They're not as interested in anything else except, oh, here's a business that's doing well. This business is generating $130 a month or $200 a month or whatever. Here's what this business is generating. I'm going to go ahead and pay this much money for the business revenue, this much money for the inventory, which is subscribers and the list and so on, and I will pay $1,700 for it. Okay, so that's the exact same thing happening just in the online world. Now, you could do this once a month. Once a month, you could go out there and flip it like that. And you don't have to teach this. You don't have to share this with other people. I'm just sharing with all the affiliates that we have on here right now, because some of you might be wondering, how do I make a quick, $2,000 or $1,500 in the next week or so, in the next month or so. So some of you who might already have, let's say you have an account and you have your wife's account, or you have things like that set up, you can actually start doing this right away if you wanted to. So that's the basic idea. Hopefully everybody gets it. And I'll get into some very specific questions in a second here, and then we'll move on to the other big updates on here as well. Okay. Okay. Can you tell what you would say on your YouTube videos and things like that? Okay. So what would you say in your YouTube video or your Squidoo Lens and stuff? Okay. Imagine that you were just promoting DS Domination regularly. Imagine you didn't know about any of the stuff that I just shared. You just knew that you could sell, you just knew that you wanted to promote DS Domination. Okay, that's all you knew. What would you do? You would make a YouTube video that talked about DS Domination or drop shipping, and you would, optimize it for a couple of keywords. It doesn't really matter if it's ranking or not, but you will make a video that basically talks about drop shipping or your results with DSD and DSD's history, or how to get started with DSD. Okay, that's basically what your video would say. It's basically the same stuff that your video would say, as well as what your Squidoo Lens or your WordPress site would say. Here's actually Squidoo. Let me show you guys what this is. All Squidoo is basically a place where people can go and create their own pages. It's kind of like a blogging platform. It's just that it's a little more fancier than, it's just a fancier version of blogging, where you can insert your images and you can insert stuff like that. That's all this is, okay? So you will create a Squidoo Lens, again, discussing same stuff, and your website could be just a 3-page, 4-page website. And I'll actually include a very specific template for you guys to follow for that. And I'm going to put that training in, like I said last time. I'm actually done with that training, but I'm going to put that training specifically in Market Extreme, so you guys will be able to go in there and watch and use the exact template to use on what your website should be like. So for the website, follow the template that I show you guys. But here's exactly what it would look like. You would have about 3 pages on the site, and your page number 1 would be what is dropshipping. Obviously, this needs to be in your own words. You can't just copy-paste somebody else's stuff in there. But what is dropshipping? Your page 2 would be what is DS Domination, and third page will be your or my personal DSD results. Those will be your 3 pages on there, and then you can have an opt-in page hosted on there if you want, and that you're going to build lists from and stuff like that. That's all optional. If you're not techie at all, you don't understand it, you don't understand even after watching the videos about it, you can forget that. You don't even have to have that necessarily, but it will make it a lot easier for you to actually get sales very quickly and make money very quickly if you had that. Okay, so that's all you would say in those videos or on those pages, and that would basically be it. Okay, another question is this donut account. Right in the beginning, when you create the donut account, at that point you are going to be paying for the donut account, but when somebody else purchases from the site from you, they will take over the account from you, and they will actually pay for the donut account as well at that point. Okay. How do you build websites? How about WordPress and all that stuff? That's a little more complicated for most of the people on the site. It's a little more technical, but I have training that I did on that already, and that's all going to be put in the members area in the back office, and we'll send you the information about it. Okay, so you guys can follow the exact template and how to do that. If you don't know anything about building websites, you'll be able to build websites after you go through that. But a good question is, why should we stop doing this? Why not just keep doing this over and over? Well, the reason you don't want to keep doing this over and over and over and over is precisely because after a while, you will kind of saturate market, and some of the people that you've already sold the sites to, or you've already sold this whole business to, they might come to you and say, hey, I see that you're selling the same thing all over again. They might get upset about it. They might not like that. So you only want to do this for 2 or 3 times in a short period of time. You can go back and do that 2 months from now. Let's say that you did this month and you did it next month, and then you wanted to go on a vacation in March, you could go repeat this one more time and get an extra $3,000, go on a vacation, and you could totally do that. So that's the idea behind this. I got a question: can we use an Empower Network blog for this? You can. You can absolutely do that, as long as, this is the important thing though, as long as you can actually transfer that blog to the new owner. Because remember, these YouTube videos and stuff, you can transfer the YouTube account that you create. You can transfer that YouTube account to the new owner. You can transfer your website to the new owner. You can transfer everything else to the new owner. But I don't think you can transfer your Empower Network blog to somebody else. So that's one thing you would need to do. Okay, now if this seems confusing to anyone, and I'm sure like we have 1,000 people on here, I'm sure there are going to be some people who it would be a little confusing for. If this is confusing for you, it's okay. I understand that it is, and that's all right. You guys don't have to do this. But for everybody else who understood this, you guys can go ahead and start doing this. But if you don't understand it, that's fine. It's not a big deal. You guys don't have to worry about it too much. Okay. You are not going to be able to retain the account once you sell it. So this is not saying that you sell the same account multiple times. All this is saying is you create an account, sell it as a whole business, create another account, sell it as a whole business, do that a couple of times, then actually help these guys out, okay? Give them some support, help Joe and John on how to build this out a little bit more, and that's really all you need to do, okay? All right. One last call for any more questions about this, and then Roger, Kevin, if you can also help me like figure out if there are questions that I missed, we'll answer those. Then I want to move on to some pretty nice updates that we have for you guys. And updates, these are things that we had talked about in the past, and we, well, not with everybody on the call, but we had talked about this internally, just between the three of us, and we finally actually have the chance to get going on this. So let's go through the questions quick.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm seeing in the chat, I'm seeing 70 to 80% of the people getting ready to go out and buy a Ferrari. And then I see some people micromanaging. I'm going to tell you guys a little story about my network marketing past. You would get into a company, and I was in Bisalis, and we'd rocking and rolling, and you kind of hit a wall and stuff like that, and you were just hoping to find the next big giant person that would take off and grow the company even more. So you would try and recruit, and you would try and make calls, and you try and find the person, and you put ads up and stuff like this. This is a way to get the big giant person in here. I see folks stressing over, and I know money's tight for some people, about $30 and things like that. But the bottom line on it is you don't have to do this, but this is an opportunity to grab another spot, which most companies won't even let you do. We don't care because we pay out a full 75%. It doesn't matter to us where it goes. Grab another spot and then sell that spot once you build it up. And guess what? You don't have to recruit anymore down there. That new guy or new girl that came in and bought that spot because they have a huge team. They didn't buy a spot to give you a $2,000 on a spot that's making a couple $100 a month. They bought that spot to get a jump start. Now they're making a couple $100 a month, and then they're going to bring over their people, and they're going to make a bunch of money. And that guy's in your downline, or that girl's in your downline, earning you income. That's what this is all about. It's not about, I'm going to pay $10 here, and what if this happens? What if that's the case? Just don't do it. But we're giving you guys a way, a methodology, or at Tesh's, to start capitalizing, earning a couple $1,000s in chunks and fast. So that's what this is all about. Back to you.
Yep. And again, like Roger just said, this is not for everyone, okay? Just like nothing is for everyone. There's no such thing that's for everyone other than maybe oxygen and food and water and a few other things. But in general, there's no single business method applies to everyone, okay? So there are some of you on here who really all you guys have to do is just go ahead and do the eBay dropshipping. Some of you will want to build this like a traditional MLM. Some of you will want to build this like an online marketing company. And some of you guys just want to do this like an affiliate program. And then there's like a whole other segment out of you who will say, oh, this is great. I'm going to do this as well. So we're just giving you all the options. This is all your ability to do whatever you guys want. It's just go from there. Now somebody else had to ask the question, how much does the training on this cost? It costs nothing, obviously. We're not trying to sell you training about this. We're just telling you that this is what you can do. And we'll give you all the training that you need on this at no cost. It's all going to be in your back office. And when we put it in the back office, then we will go ahead and actually send you an email, and we'll say, hey, this training is in there, and you can go ahead and start using it. Okay?
Hey, Tess, can I have the screen for a second, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Guys, I'm getting a lot of questions about stacking, and if you're not familiar with it, that's putting people you know or relatives or yourself under yourself under yourself under yourself so you can collect more checks. So here's why companies don't like that. So let's just say this top person right here, let's say this is us, this is DS right here, and we sign up A, and A signs up B. It's in our best interest for A to go out and recruit people and recruit people and recruit people and recruit people, because A will get 50% and the rest of the money will flow up to DS Domination. So if A goes out and puts their wife or their husband or their sister right here and then starts recruiting through there, then B will get 50%, A will get 10%, and the company gets less of that money. That's why there's no stacking in other companies. We don't care. Sign up your goldfish. It doesn't matter to us. It's not about us getting more money. It's actually us losing money because you guys are stacking and making sure that your wife and your family and yourself are taken care of. Yes, stack away. Go ahead. We don't care. We're going to pay out 75% regardless, and that's just what we do. So we don't want any gimmicks to not pay out. Okay. So yeah, stacking is allowed. Stacking is in the industry is a bad word because companies want to make sure that they don't pay you out where you're supposed to get paid out. So back to you.
Real
Beautiful.
quick,
Thank you for clarifying that, Raj.
Yeah, you look at. I want you guys to think about any company that you've been involved with in the past, and I'm going to tell you, they are not that transparent about their intentions and what they want you to do. They'll just tell you don't do it. It's bad. It's illegal for you to do that. It's because they don't want you to do it. So I actually really appreciate you showing that, Roger, because
Yep.
I mean, hopefully some of you guys who are on here, hopefully you get a little how different we kind of are than what you're going to find out there. So kudos to Roger. Clap your hands, guys. Love it. Love it.
And if you guys are clapping right now, thank you. We just can't hear it. But okay, so one beautiful thing about what Roger just mentioned actually is a perfect segue. I don't know if this was planned by him. I don't think it was because we don't plan any of these webinars.
He's not that smart. You can say it.
Yeah, he's not that smart. He was too busy eating donuts. He would not know this. Anyway, no. This is a perfect segue into something else that we were talking about. So there was a change that we made a week and a half ago that a lot of you might not be aware of, and I wanted to actually bring that and make that very clear to you guys. If when this was going on earlier, if you had, let's say that this is A, this is B, and B gets C. Okay, now C joins through B's link, and let's say that B only has Pro, Elite, and Unleashed, and C goes ahead and purchases Monopoly. As you know, B doesn't qualify for that commission, so B would not get the 50% commission, but A would still get the 10% commission because A qualifies for it. Well, we made a change to this. Now, earlier, even though this was happening, we, as a company, we were still using that 50% to actually go ahead and monetize for other people's links. But we made a change recently after a few discussions that we had that this 50% now that B did not receive will actually be awarded as a bonus to A. So now, you guys...
If you're not freaking out in chat, we better explain that again.
Pop it out.
Yes. So you guys will actually be making a ton more money. So you guys get that. You guys don't have to worry about that. And yeah, so that's awesome and brilliant and yay for everything. So you guys don't have to worry about this anymore. You actually will get the commissions pass up, or not really pass up. I don't want to say the pass up because it gives the impression that this C is passed up. C is not going to be passed up. Just that commission, which earlier would have been absorbed into the company, is now actually being awarded as a bonus to A in this case. Or if A didn't qualify and there was Z, or if above Z there was the turkey and the turkey had monopoly, then the turkey would make the money. So the point is just that we actually make sure that somebody gets paid for that at any moment. Okay, which brings me to
super quick addition. Somebody asked only if A owned monopoly. It just keeps rolling up. Right?
Correct. Whoever qualifies for that monopoly. So if A didn't have monopoly and Z didn't have monopoly, then the turkey would get it. Okay, so the first qualified upline in that scenario. All right. Now this, however, brings me to one other point. We as a company have been very focused, have been very clear from the very beginning that our emphasis is not on the big recruiters. It's not the heavy hitters who can make 500 sales. Okay, we just haven't been like that because we know, and all heavy hitters know, they know themselves that the success of a company and the success of their income in a company depends on the average guy winning. Okay, so we did something about that as well, and I'm going to try and explain that a little bit. So let's follow along. There's two updates that I'm going to tell you guys about now. One is an update that affects all members, affiliates or not, and one that affects affiliates. Okay. I have been building, which you guys might have heard about. We've been building a whole progress tracking system, that allows our members who first sign up, that actually walks them through a process by percentage tracking where they are in the whole scenario. So when they first watch all the pro videos, they check their box, and now they have 7% progressed on pro. When they actually make their first listing on eBay, then they have now progressed 11% on pro, and so on and so forth. We actually track that whole thing. And when they make their first sale on eBay, at that point they're at like 89% or 91%, something like that on pro. We actually at this stage now tell them something. Okay, and I want to explain this. I'm going to pause for a second and explain what happened. So Roger recently kind of messed up his Skype number, and I called Roger on Skype, and it forwarded on to a very wonderful leader in DS Domination right now named Susie Scones from UK. And I ended up having a very nice conversation, long conversation with her, and I was running some of this by her. And so this is actually part of her contribution to this as well. So I want to make sure that everybody knows that Susie was involved a little bit in making sure that this was the right way to go. Here's what happens when a member gets to this stage, when they make their first sale on eBay. I know a lot of you out there are going out and helping other people. You have Facebook groups or Skype groups or whatever, and some of you are helping others. You don't care if they're in your team or they're in your downline or if you recruited them or whatever. You're just helping them out. At this stage, when they make their first sale on eBay, and there's actually a verification process for that, we actually ask them, who helped you the most up until this point? Did you just do this yourself with DS Domination, or was there a particular user in DS Domination who helped you the most? And when they give us the name of the person who helped them, the affiliate username who helped them the most, so let's say they said that Susie helped me the most, at the end of the month, we're actually going to have a pool, and we're going to distribute extra bonus money to all of those people who got the awards for helping other people the most. So if you go out and you're just helping people and you're helping them succeed, and you're not a big recruiter necessarily and doing all of that stuff, you will actually still make more money now just because you're actually helping people do what they should be doing, which is selling on eBay properly and following along with the training. So even if you're not a big recruiter and you're just helping people, and there are other people out there who are big recruiters who don't help their people, but you are the one who's ending up helping them, you are still actually going to get a bonus out of that, and you're still going to get some help out of that. Okay, so I just want to clarify that we actually have an award for all of you who are actually helping people, and an award for all the people who are taking care of people on a one-on-one basis. So that is, we'll expose more details on this. You know, the pool is going to change every month, obviously, but we'll discuss all of this out with you guys. We'll put this out there. The progress tracker will actually be done, and released either in December, except because December has so many holidays and the Christmas season is here. We might just start this whole thing starting with the new year. But we'll be doing this, and then the person who receives the most votes here will actually be specifically honored at a live event as well. So you might want to just remember that too. So that's all of the stuff right now in terms of the updates that we had for our members and affiliates. A lot of you guys are familiar with what's going on with our leaderboard. Remember that today is the second last day, but tomorrow is the last day for the month of November. So go out and go ahead and start getting on there to make sure that you can qualify for whatever you want to qualify for. I would just like to go over the leaderboard quickly. Here is the leaderboard. And here are the prizes. If you guys haven't seen this yet, just go to affiliate and then go to leaderboard. And here are the prizes. So basically, the number one position, you're going to get a custom built computer from us. We're going to actually build one for you guys, and obviously the flat screen TVs, Samsung Galaxy Gear, GoPro, and obviously this is the real prize that everybody's fighting for. Number 5, a can of unicorn meat. But at this point, this is what our top 10 for the month of November look like. Reginald is number 1, and Christian is actually really, really close, just 4 sales away, and Chris Groves 7 sales from Christian. So it's super, super close. For all of you guys who are affiliates and you're really excited about this kind of stuff and you want to go out there and build sales, just want to clarify, tomorrow is the last day for November, so we're going to freeze the leaderboard tomorrow night, and we'll basically record who won the leaderboard for November tomorrow night. Okay? So other than this, there are things going on the dropshipping side. On dropshipping side, we have a few more updates that are coming out. New videos have been done and all that good stuff. And Roger can maybe enlighten us a little bit more about that part.
Yeah, absolutely. And back to the leaderboard, if you're not on that leaderboard or you're not close to being on there and you're just thinking, well, that's not for me, you're going to want to brand your leader and say, you know what, down the road, I work with Reginald. He was in the number 1 on the leaderboard. I work with Christian. I work with Trent. I work with whoever that was on that leaderboard. And that's just going to help your business as well. So, we're all one group. And one team. We don't consider that sometimes, and we're just kind of home alone and stuff like that. But definitely support these guys and these girls and hope everybody wins. Yes, all kinds of massive, I keep showing Hitesh and Kevin all the new stuff that's being rolled out, trying to get time to put it up. But definitely decking out Monopoly over the next week or two, and then we're going to have some live training on that. And then we have some stuff coming into Unleashed. We launched a site up in Canada. It was shop.com. Josh, I'm sorry. Everybody on here, everybody's not on that particular module, right? They're not on here because they're affiliates. In the Elite section, we launched a new site that's very European friendly, and you actually can be selling in Canada from this site, and they ship only to Canada. There's been some confusion, so I'm going to do a little follow-up video. What happened is the international teams are very used to leaping across borders and boundaries now because they've had the training or they followed how to do that because they had to do it. And then some of the U.S. Folks, because it's the first time going out of country, are having some trouble. So I'm going to put some additional stuff in there. It's really simplistic. You literally log out of your eBay account and then go to ebay.ca and click sell and then log in. And you need to know a little bit about item location, which is in the pro section of the first international section. So yeah, just all kinds of great stuff coming out for you guys, and just more and more and more. It's just when we get the time to roll it out, and we're loosening up quite a bit. We had I think 2 days in November where we're kind of just lax a little bit. And when I say lax, I mean we worked like 20 hours or something silly, and we're just kind of sitting back and going, okay, this is running pretty smooth. And then we just kind of punch each other in the chest and turn it back up. So we're going fast and furious. I've seen some questions about the event. The event coordinator that I met with a week ago, I don't even think it was a week ago, but he's done state dinners for Ronald Reagan, and he worked with George Bush, and he's done 35,000 people in the Georgia Dome and things like that. And that's who we're working with, just the top class people that are going to put this event on and help us put it on. And when we sat down, he said, he said, Roger, I'll work right through Thanksgiving. It's no trouble, but I don't just take an event and just contact my old boys and girls down in Vegas and flip on a switch. I want to make sure it's done right. So those guys won't work through Thanksgiving. So he goes, I need another few days to get it all set up. So this week we'll be meeting and talking quite a bit and doing a webinar and plotting it out, and then we'll launch it. And it's all, for me, it's all about making sure it's the biggest, baddest event at the absolute cheapest price, and that's what our focus is on. Back to you guys.
Beautiful. Well, and there was something else that we were also doing on the dropshipping side, wasn't there? We had a couple other things that we are doing. Maybe we're not supposed to talk about it. But there are other things that are going on that we are doing in the dropshipping side, and more software and stuff that's also coming out as well.
Oh, so, yeah. You can't. Well, that's going to be on the company-wide webinar.
Okay. So on the company-wide webinar, we will talk about that stuff. But there's more stuff that will be coming out that we are already working on. If you guys, I actually got 2 people in here saying, so what's I'm not an active affiliate. Well, if you're not an active affiliate, you just have to go up here and click on the affiliate status, and you can activate yourself from there. But there's that. I mean, it's basically that easy. So do you guys have any questions about any of the stuff that we have gone over so far? And oh, okay. I want to know if we should address this.
I'd love to.
Okay, go ahead and address it.
Okay. Recently online, just like any single company in the planet that has success, there's going to be something bad on it. We could be, exchanging Mother Teresa crosses for free, and there'd be something bad about the company. So there's this guy online. The best we can figure out is he used to live in Australia and got kicked out of there. And he's of Indian descent, and he hops around from country to country. And what he does is he finds a little idiosyncrasy with a company and then bashes it. And what he knows that companies with such amazing members like ourselves, we're so proud we're going to go over there and argue. And then he'll taunt back and forth while the argument takes place, and then the article will get ranked. So this gentleman launched an article, and the whole purpose of him is when these arguments take place, the article gets ranked and he gets more Google AdSense money. He has no interest in DS Domination. He has no interest in the other 3,000 companies he's bashed. It's all about getting paid. So he started this publication of this one guy, apparently Professor X, that had his account shut down for doing DS Domination. If you read the article, DS Domination, Professor X about did everything backwards and opened multiple accounts and did all this scamming and stuff like this, and got his account subsequently shut down, which he should have gotten it shut down. So all of our proud members started going over there and arguing. And then the next day, or a day or two later, he put up a post going, I have to apologize. Amazon and eBay, or eBay is okay with Amazon drop shipping. I called them, and they're okay with it. And then had the audacity to put in the article, I wish the DS Domination people would have called up eBay like I did before they launched their company to clarify this. That is just like a taunting tactic to get me to go rip his head off and to get DS Domination members to go over there and go, I told you so, I told you it's legitimate, I told you it's legitimate, and then that article ranks, and then you feed him again, and then he turns around and spins the article. So as soon as he put up the DS Domination, this lovely article, I went onto my Facebook wall and said, guys, don't fall for this, don't go over even comment, don't feed this guy. And sure enough, the next day, he had a revelation of the definition of drop shipping and what it really means, and just silliness. So if you're going to be that temperamental in a company where you're affected by something like that, you're never going to get anywhere. You're never going to get to a finish line because somebody's always going to write something bad about a company. So that's my official address on it.
But I want to say something, though, okay? Here's what the best part to me, okay, this was honestly the best part, and I'm telling you guys very honestly. First of all, don't feed the troll. Don't go there. There's no sense to it. Actually, I have AdSense blocker on my computer, so the only time I go to his site, I actually have AdSense blocker available, and he doesn't make any money off of that. But here's a very fun part out of this whole thing. He had 2 people say that DS Domination is bad, and this is literally true. Okay, this is literally what he says. Here are 2 reasons why DS Domination. One, this guy got his account shut down because he was doing all sorts of stuff that he shouldn't be. Okay, it has nothing to do with DS Domination. But this is his second example. There's this woman complaining that she, in her first month as a pro member, is making only $1,000 a month, and she's not making more than that. I'm like, that's your negative review of DS Domination. This woman is complaining that she's making $1,000 a month with DS Domination on her step 1. Okay, and that's the negative review. I mean, that just shows you how good our company is. That the negative review is, I only made $1,000, and I wish I'd made a lot more. So even the worst people out there can't find anything bad about it. So that's just, you know, just wanted to clarify that that's even amongst all of that bad stuff, that's really all the bad they can find about us. And that's just because we are very transparent. We're not hiding anything from you guys. I mean, we show you guys everything openly. So I guess
and
that's
just an FYI, we tracked that woman down, right? And I cut a video. We tracked this person down on eBay. They have 206 sales, averaging $12 profit. They've been in 90 days, so they're right at $1,000 a month, and all they've bought was the Pro. And then the kicker was the comment that Roger doesn't care about people. Good luck contacting him. Tell my wife that. Anyway, whatever. Okay, enough of that. Let's not talk about that guy.
Enough of that. Off of that. Yes. So we are done with that. We just want to clarify that because I know immediately after that we got some people who wrote in saying, "Oh, we saw this, we saw that. Is this true?" So we just want to make sure that everybody knew what really happened, and the guy's already apologized, and it's obviously not true. But there's no sense in going to him and saying thank you that you corrected yourself because he's just hoping that you would do that. So just ignore that. Anyway, just a quick recap on all the stuff that we covered over here. We have this progress tracker coming, and we have the if you help people, you'll get money coming, and we have the leaderboard concluding tonight. We have the 50% commissions going to the next qualifying upsell, the next qualifying upline, sorry. And of course, we have the whole training, the specifics of how to build a website and how to write your listing, what exactly to say in your listing to get the best sale for the business liquidation, or the street name being the flipping your business yo method. So you guys have that, and hopefully that's more than enough content for one webinar.
No, it's not. When is our company-wide webinar, Hitesh?
That's coming up on the 15th of December.
Okay. Let's do it earlier.
Okay, let's do it 7th of December. Let's look at the dates. 7th of December is a Sunday.
Perfect. What if we gave them the information on what's complete, so they would be very encouraged to invite if we gave you the information that we're going to put on that webinar, would you be like super jacked up and invite every single pro member that you have on your team to that webinar? Like you'd go crazy, like that just it'd be painted all over Facebook. Okay, cool.
Okay.
What do you think, Hitesh?
Should we send an email on that, or should we say it right now?
Yeah. Let's let these guys know. I mean, it's Friday night, 9 o'clock, the day after Thanksgiving long weekend. They're on here, and you know they're all rocking in the trenches with us. I'll just do a little quick intro.
Okay.
What
just one second. Before you say it, I meant the 8th of December, not the 7th, because 7th is a Saturday, 8th is a Sunday. I meant the 8th. Okay, not the 7th.
Okay.
Okay, now go.
Okay, so this is so important to you because this creates such stickiness that the person they can't leave pro, okay? It's like they just can't leave pro without this. If they do, they'll just hurt themselves financially. And there's all kinds of goofy versions of this online, and I've searched them out because I've been getting, pushed on this since day one. I never had what Hitesh is about to announce. I never had it myself, and I worked around it, but there's a lot of stressful nights, and as I say that, people can start thinking about what I'm moving towards. So when you look online, it doesn't exist because Hitesh had to create a whole new server for us just to make this exist, okay? And nobody online, it's not in their best interest to create a whole new server to make this exist because there's so much demand on the server because of this. So I won't take any more than that, but just this is one of the things you've absolutely been knocking on the door for, and Hitesh taking it away.
Okay, thank you. Okay, well, absolutely everybody has been asking for, is there a way for us to track our sales on Amazon to make sure that the price doesn't go up on us, or things like that, right? So that the price increase monitoring and the stock monitoring should be there. So we start out with that, and we have that. We've been building that. I've tested that out. Happy to say we have something that actually will track it, as opposed to every service out there that just tracks price drop or checks it once a day, stuff like that. We actually built something very sophisticated that takes care of all that. But we didn't want to stop there. So what we did is we kind of went a little bit ahead, and here's how it actually works now. You actually log your sales in it, and you log the products that you're tracking in it. When a sale comes in, you actually just put the sales information in there, like who purchased it, their address and stuff. The system will then calculate the sales tax if there's sales tax applicable. It'll take care of the sales tax calculations in there. It'll actually let you look at different time intervals what your profit has been, net profit over the last so many days, and so on and so forth. And you'll be able to export it all to QuickBooks or whatever other software that you want to use to actually do your taxes or accounting at the end of the year. So you'll actually be able to do that and make that work with your PayPal tax statement that comes in, and you guys will be able to run with all of that stuff. So that whole thing is going to be basically a massive logging information database for you guys. So you'll be able to run with that and just do all sorts of crazy stuff. But here's what else happens with that. When there are certain products, and you sometimes might miss this, but the system is actually going to look at your total history and say, hey, it looks like your number of sales for a product X are really high. So it'll suggest to you, hey, you should probably go raise the price on this because it's selling so well, you might be able to get a higher profit on that. At the same time, it's going to look at certain products and it's going to say, hey, your profit margin on product Y is really high. You should consider doing this with Elite as well and doing this with other sources as well, and look for other sources in there, and so on and so forth. And then my final thing that would go with this is we're eventually going to actually log this in with all of the discount and cashback systems that we have in place in Elite and Unleashed. And so it'll actually be able to tell you guys exactly what your true profit would be on certain products if you're using other sources. You'd be able to say, should I be using Amazon for this, or this Elite source, or that Unleashed source? And our system would actually be able to calculate all of that out for you and tell you what you should be using given all of those other things. So it's going to be pretty insane. Nothing like that exists, obviously. Nothing even close to it exists right now. And when we release that, it's obviously going to change the entire game of dropshipping, because I think pretty much anybody outside of DST would not be able to compete with the people who are using all of the things in here. So that's what's coming out there. At the same time, there are a lot of other updates as well, including product feed side of things and stuff, which are getting so very close to being all set. So there's a lot of good stuff that will be on there on the webinar when we do it next week. Well, actually a week and a day. So there you have it. This is our version of. Can I have an inventory tracker, please? No, we don't do that. We do this kind of stuff. So that's there you go.
Hitesh, did I remember to ask you to do that for the UK too?
Yes, you did remember to say that. So we're actually going to have this available for the UK users as well for Amazon.uk. Also, I actually happen to know that there are a lot of users within DS Domination who are actually selling off to other countries already, and there's actually a little thing that we're working for all of you who have been wanting to sell on eBay globally.
It's too much.
I have to say it, it's part of it.
All right.
Okay, so we have some other stuff. I'm not going to go into any more specifics.
We're just going to stand there at the event in Vegas.
Yes. So we have other stuff happening with the global stuff. I know there are some of you who are selling globally, and I've seen the support tickets, or when you write and say, hey, I'm doing this with eBay dot whatever, and we actually have stuff that will take care of you in all of those things as well. Okay, so that is that.
Okay, now you guys promised you'd go crazy on Facebook. It's going to fill anyway. But that webinar on the 8th, please don't share any of the information. It just takes away from the mystique of it. But imagine all of your pro users just never, ever, 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 ever leaving, which is, if you've been in network marketing before, that is just the dream of all dreams. So, yay! Kevin?
Well, it's not like people are leaving pro as it is. I mean, I want to be clear. It's not like, we are like, oh no, people are leaving pro. What do we do? This is more like, okay, everybody's on it. Everybody's doing great. But we just really, really, people say this is a problem, so we try to come up with a solution. That's all it is. We weren't even thinking about, your pro people will never leave. This is more of a, oh, you need this, here you go. All righty.
Beautiful.
So we'll have this webinar recorded, and this webinar will be in your members area under affiliate live training. You will find the recording on there. And if you guys have any specific questions, if you have questions about any specific group that you're a part of, and those of you who are, you understand that, you can contact us on Facebook or via Sport Tickets personally, and we'll be able to take care of all of you guys on there as well. And the scavenger hunt, can I just quickly give an update on that? Roger did the scavenger hunt, and he was so excited, and he thought that he had the perfect thing, and people would be searching for days. And somebody found it like 2 hours in. And so that one was actually already done. It was declared, and the scavenger hunt was already taken care of. So it was really, really fast. So we're actually going to plan on doing another one.
These guys made me pay out of my own pocket because I sucked.
We did. I was like, whatever, scavenger hunt, did nothing. Actually, I forgot. There's one more thing that I forgot to mention. This progress tracker, we actually have a thing in here. When they, for example, make the first listing on eBay, we're having a full integration with Facebook finished up, where there's a message that's displayed then on their wall saying, woohoo, I just made my first listing on eBay. Or when they make their first sale on eBay, hey, I just sold my first item on eBay through DS Domination. So what's going to happen is you're going to see a lot of duplication happening in your downline as an affiliate from this as well. And at the same time, it's going to get the users a lot more excited about sharing DS Domination without having to become marketers or recruiters or anything like that. So I forgot to mention that we have that too.
You better be careful, because that could go viral. You don't want that going viral. You better be careful there.
Yeah, we've been trying. Honestly, we've been trying really hard from the beginning to make sure things don't go viral, and they're still going viral. So, yeah, so we have all of those things. It's kind of crazy that we have so many things in development, but we will. We'll hopefully get all of this for you guys pretty soon. Okay, can I give guys, I want to give a very quick update also on the premium leads. The people who have been ordering leads, you'll notice that we actually turned that off momentarily. And I wish I could actually just, maybe actually I will try and show you guys something. Basically what had happened is, if you guys remember, we used to have a system where when you purchase balance to buy leads, it would go to your approved balance. I'm sure all of you remember that. You would add balance, and then you would take that balance and you would buy leads with that. Well, what happened is we had these individuals who thought they were so smart, trying to come in and basically using people's stolen credit cards to buy approved balance and then trying to request that as a payout to themselves.
That's bad.
That caused a whole bunch of chaos, obviously, because we had a lot of fraud issues coming from that, and people trying to do this kind of stuff. We obviously caught all of them, and we stopped all of them. We didn't have a problem there, but we recognized also that there is a problem with making the system the way it was. So we changed the accounting on that, and you would have noticed 2 days ago, right now it distinguishes between your approved balance versus your purchase credit. So there's a reason why there has been a slight delay on that. We had to take care of that thing urgently, and also while I was making that switch, that introduced a couple of bugs where we have been generating leads, and we can see the leads, but they did not go to some of the users' accounts. So we're going to obviously refulfill that. You guys don't have to worry about it. We're not going to say, oh, well, too bad for you. We're going to take care of that for you guys as well. But just want to give everybody an update in keeping with our transparency that that's what's been going on. But we have been taking care of that already. We've already taken care of that at this point. Actually, if you go and try to do a IP out request, then you would have also received a notice saying you need to publish a government ID to us now and things like that. So anyway, the bottom line is fraud is not an issue. Everything else is not an issue. We've already sorted all of those things. But it did introduce a couple bugs for us. It did take some time out from us. So that's why there's been a slight delay for some of you guys. But once we catch up, I'm going to re-enable that. I don't really want more people ordering these until we have caught up on everybody, which should be pretty soon. But once we're caught up, we'll re-enable that. Okay? So that's what's going on.
That's what's going on, yo.
You don't do it as well. I think I do it the best.
I think you do it the best. Let's hear it.
Vote. Go ahead, Hitesh.
Okay, let's have a vote.
Ready.
Okay.
Yo, that's you go. Okay. Sorry, let me try again. Yo, that's how you go buy some leads, yo.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Kevin, your turn.
I'm sorry, it's too funny. I love it. That's how you buy some leads, yo.
Okay.
Roger,
what about?
I get a turn? That's my turn.
See, I already have some votes coming in. Hitesh,
I already
there you
voted.
go.
I'm voting for you right now.
All right. Well.
Everyone
Okay,
here at Roger before I make my final vote.
Okay, Kevin wins. There you go. Kevin won.
That's the methodology for purchasing leads for your business, yo. Did I
Is that
do
your
it?
attempt at doing my?
That was my attempt. I want to see if I won. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, thanks.
Hitesh won that.
All right, get Roger.
You all just sound like Microsoft Sam. Okay. Okay, guys, there was a question that was in here, and I don't want to miss it. Okay, how about a short-term 36-year-old who get off on the fast track by selling thousands first days? No, there was a question of, can this business be done globally? Okay, I wasn't clear about what you meant by can this be done globally. Yes, it can be done globally. The whole thing with the eBay side can obviously be done wherever eBay and PayPal are, and the affiliate side can also be done wherever you are globally. But that actually brought me to a very important point. That is, we are actually doing some stuff for international teams. And if you're in international teams and things like that, we will actually introduce a new section over here for international users who speak a different language. Okay? And the people who speak a different language, we'll actually have, currently the current plans are Spanish and Italian will be available in there. So if you want to build team in nations or in different language speaking groups, then you guys will be able to do that over there as well. So you'll be able to basically build teams who speak a different language because we'll have those versions of trainings. I don't want to give a timeline on it. We do have plans for it. But if you guys want to help with that, or if you have a big team that wants to do that or something like that, you can go ahead and write us, and we'll see if we can do something there. Okay?
Happy 90th anniversary, guys.
Yes. And then is there a statistic on what items are selling very well on eBay? We have statistics, but we don't reveal those statistics because that would be a really terrible thing to do. If we released a list of these items that are selling well on eBay, I mean, there's like 10,000, 12,000 people in here that immediately go and do that, and that would not be good. But, okay. That's that. If you are in a nation where PayPal is not accepted, you will have to open a support ticket and talk about it because we, off the top of our heads, there's really no clear-cut solution to that, selling on eBay.
Elite.
Yeah, Elite would help you with that because in Elite you don't need eBay PayPal, but you would want to do Elite. Other than that, really, honestly, we can't help in that case. What website can you sell or liquidate your DST? Well, you can actually go and sell stuff on Flipper.com. That's the example I gave. That's one of the biggest ones out there. You can definitely go ahead and try that out. But there are others as well, and all of that I will be I'm doing very detailed stuff that will be in there. The site is called Flippa with a P-A, so Flippa, and that's where you go for that. Are people in India doing this? Yes, there are people in India doing this right now. I know for a fact that there are at least 20 people from India in DS Domination right now. So there's that. What about Nigeria? I don't believe there's anybody from Nigeria actively doing this.
No PayPal in Nigeria.
Yeah, there's no PayPal in Nigeria. Okay. Can you talk a little bit about titles? Because my titles are not coming up in searches on eBay. So this will be the only eBay-related question we take on this webinar, because this is all about the affiliate side of things. But Roger, if you just want to talk about that quick while I go through some of the other questions.
Yeah, you have to have some sort of sense or understanding of the thousands and thousands and thousands of people looking for your product. And whenever I do a review on titles, when we first started, I just say, send me your username and I'll review your items. And I've never, probably out of 100, 200, 1,000 accounts reviewed, and there's always an issue with titles. And you just absolutely have to think like a customer. And on every webinar, I'll look at a title and I'll say, who would type in brand new, get it now? And those are in your titles. Your titles are all just key words. They're just there to be found. They're not there to sell. Your text, your body is there to sell the product once they find your item via the title. And then there's something called third-level titling or third-level thinking. So when you're first listing an item, you grab the other user's title, and then you're going to modify it and edit it. You just grab it because they're going to have a few keywords, and why bother typing out the good few keywords? And then you start thinking like a customer. You say, okay, the brand name of this item is Texsport, T-E-X-S-P-O-R-T. I've never heard of that. That's not like Macy's or Tiffany's or something. So the brand name is useless, so you remove the brand name. And then you start thinking along the lines of the customer. What could a customer possibly type in looking for a cast iron pot? They might type in cast iron pot, cooking, utensils, camping, chef, pre-seasoned, everything else. And then if you have space left over, that's when you would insert something else and say, okay, I got a cast iron pot. What would somebody be looking for? And then see the cast iron pot and buy that cast iron pot. They might be looking for a tent. Okay, so they're looking for a tent. They're going to become an outdoors type person. They're looking forward to getting their Jetta and putting the tent on top of the car. And I really familiarize myself with the customer. And they're going to drive out and they're going to put this tent up. And they're looking for their first tent for their family. Big camping trip with Johnny. Awesome. What if they've seen this cast iron pot here and says, you know what? That's going to be amazing over the fire. We're going to buy a brand new tent, but what if I took some soup and made some soup like they do in the movies in this cast iron pot? So you put your cast iron pot, and in your title you get all your good keywords, and then you put tent or camping or something like that. And then somebody looking for a tent, all they see is tents and one big giant black cast iron pot. And it's like, hello, here I am. And that's all about titles. And that's it. And then, of course, we have the title optimizer in there that'll help you even more. I didn't have half the weapons you guys had. So, yes, that's my spiel on titles.
Yeah, and you know, there's a lot of different little weapons that you guys can use to help your rankings on eBay itself. You might have heard about, first of all, free shipping helps. And then also the dropping your price a little bit. When you make price changes, even if it's a minor price change, like dropping it by 20 cents or whatever, it actually does help. Even if it's a short-term help, it helps. And there's actually, I was reading about this, and Roger, I need you to confirm this. I was reading that a watcher to buyer ratio is one of the things that they look at now, that how many watchers you have versus how many buyers. Like if
you're when you first put your item up, it's placed somewhere, obviously. It's placed somewhere in results. Now, it's placed in results based on your keywords and whether or not you have free shipping and your feedback and stuff like that. Even a zero feedback will get you better results with eBay because they want to give you a shot. Now it's which way does your item go? Does it go up in results or does it go down in results? Well, that's all based on eBay wants sales, so it's based on how interested people are in your items. If you sell the item and click relist, you'll get a massive boost in ranks. That's the best boost in ranks you can get. Now, if you have a lot of watchers and nobody's doing anything, or you're not getting many views and stuff, it'll just drift back. So when you actually write into the help desk, I kind of educate you on this stuff, and then you're able to make the modifications to come back. You might list an item and it's the whole East Coast is in a winter storm, so they're all home and they're on their computers and they're on eBay, and you're getting all kinds of views, and eBay drives you up the ranks. Or you might list your item the night of the Oscars and nobody's on the computer, nobody's on eBay, and it drifts down in ranks. You can't factor in all those stuff, but all you can do is good titles, then make the adjustments. What adjustments do you make? I'll put stuff up there, but if you just write into the help desk instead of following information on Facebook, then you'll be in a lot better shape, trust me.
Yeah, that's actually a good point too. And listed some of the other things that I know of affected. If you have an eBay store, then your items get taken out of rotation many times. Add more pictures. I know some people have been adding just one picture or something like that. Add more pictures. If you can get them, put 2, 3, 4 pictures on there. That would help as well. Change your price. Dropping your price a little bit and maybe dropping it even a couple of times in a space of a week will help with that as well. But there's an interesting point you brought up regarding the Facebook stuff. I really, really want you guys to realize that we don't ask you guys to send us your support tickets, and sometimes it takes time because we actually investigate the issues. We need you to actually send in the support tickets and help and have us look it over sometimes, even if it takes a while, because there's a lot of bad advice out there. And we're not doing this because we want to control you guys or something. It's just you can go and get a lot of bad advice. I mean, there are people out there who say, oh, yeah, just use a proxy and send multiple hits to your listing so eBay thinks you're generating outside traffic and they love you. No, don't do that kind of stuff, please, because that's not a good idea to do. And we just want you guys to, make sure that we do it the right way. So send the support ticket and get on the webinars. Get on the training webinar on Wednesday for Pro and Elite, and that's where you really should be asking some of these questions. That's where you should be actually seeing how Roger is doing a listing and then say, hey, here is my listing. Can you please tell me what I should have done over here? And in those cases, share with Roger what you're okay with other people seeing. If you're okay with sharing one of your listings so other people can see what you did, feel free to do that with him. But
yeah, and on the Elite webinar, I took a major company that sells on eBay. I took their title from their website and I put it into an eBay search. And this major company that has like 1 million items out there, they were like number 8 in search for their own product, and people were doubling their price and selling the product left and right, outselling this major company. So it is really huge. And I bring up the Facebook thing. I only caught the tail end of it, a screenshot of it. But Kenya, who helps monitor the Power Sellers group, there was a girl out there that put a post up and it got approved somehow, and the answers to her questions were misleading. I don't know the whole story yet, but whatever advice she got in that Facebook group cost her hundreds of dollars and jeopardized her account. Now, I know it's easier to pop a question on Facebook and get a quick answer, but that's an easy way to get a bunch of negativity, an easy way to get the wrong answers out there and stuff like that. And just wait the 24 hours in the help desk and just have better guidance. If you don't want better guidance and you want to go quick, then do the Facebook, and then you can pop up listings that are half right and stuff like that. You'll have a bunch of quick listings up, but I'm thinking you guys want to make money. So let's just do it right. That's all.
Awesome. Okay. And
make Kevin say something.
Yes. Kevin, say something. Meanwhile, if you guys want to join the Power Sellers account, if you want to join the Facebook groups, then you need to add first Roger as a friend, and then he will add you to those groups, because those are secret groups. Nobody knows them, or nobody knows of them. They can't just add you to it. So Roger will actually add you to that if you just add him as a friend, and then we'll approve you from there. And Kevin, please, and speak loudly because your voice is a little lower.
Yes, yes, it is. So This was a lot of information for an affiliate webinar, so I appreciate you guys hanging with us. I mean, I'm sure everyone got some great info. It's been kind of insane. We did all kinds of updates. Roger even went on some eBay rants. It's awesome, awesome, awesome. Here's my here's my thing though. I want you guys to remember this when you get off the call. Go over to those leaderboards and take a snapshot of it. And if you're working with somebody on there, post a picture of that on Facebook. I work with Reginald, who is currently the #1, this month for personal sales, things of that nature. Do that. We kind of glossed over that, the whole branding aspect, but even if you're not on the leaderboards, but you're in the downline of that person and you're working with them, leverage what's happening with them. Kind of, get on their coattails and find out what they're doing. But definitely take a snapshot of that leaderboard, put it up on your Facebook profile, or, on your wall, whatever. Make sure that you're being associated with those folks, guys. It really does help when you look at building as affiliates, which everybody here is an affiliate. So it's just a good practice.
Yeah, and I just put Roger's Facebook account link in the chat, so you should have all received it if you've not added him as a friend, and just plastered his wall with praises to him, and composing poems to him, and sending him notes written in blood or whatever. Just do that. And since all of you guys have hung on here for so long, I have one final thing for you all. So I mentioned how I ended up actually speaking with Susie Scones, completely on accident, but it was really good that I did. And I discovered something very interesting in speaking with her. Now, she is the person who has been helping us figure out some things with UK. So, for example, Roger would say, hey, I'm trying to test out the site in UK. Since you're in UK, can you test the site out? Can you purchase an item from here, and so on. So she would purchase an item for Roger so she could test it. And guess what Roger made her buy? He makes her buy a mini donut maker. I'm not even kidding. This is not a joke. And
you can't make this up.
And I really hope that Susie is on here and she can. No, I wish she confirms that she did buy. Susie, can you confirm in the question box
she's not going to
that you actually purchased that? If you can confirm
that you were made to purchase
the mini donut maker. Well, that's the brilliance of Roger. As we all know, he can make you do stuff without you realizing that he made you do it. I mean, look at all the software he has made me create so far. And I'm just supposed to think I did it on my own. But yes, so that was beautiful. I was really glad that my reading of Roger was vindicated, that he is indeed going to make people buy him donuts.
He will.
But that's so for now all of you know that point. Maybe you should talk about that on his Facebook group a little bit. His wife.
Well, we should run because apparently there's a blog out there that we're moving BS Domination to Jupiter and shutting down the U.S., so we better go address that quick, guys.
I hope you're just kidding about that. I would not even say that as a joke, because honestly, it's one thing if we were just a typical MLM company and we were like, oh, let's just play the legal game. It's honestly a lot of people's livelihoods at this point. I mean, there's for majority of our users, this is now part of their livelihood. So I hate joking about it anymore, because it really, I think about there's somebody out there who's really being affected in their daily life when some idiot just goes on a rant without realizing what they're talking about. They don't realize how many people they're actually affecting. And we'll be fine. Roger, Kevin, and I, we'll be fine. We can do a lot of stuff, but it bothers me when I think about all the the homeschool moms group or something, because there's one that Kenya runs out there that really bothers me.
Anyway. And people like that, you got to understand, they've never built anything worthwhile as far as a network marketing company. They've never helped anybody make their first $100. They've never helped anyone make their first $1,000. They've never done those things, and they can't do those things. They probably failed at those things, and so they bash the people who are doing those things. So to me, it's disgusting. I don't even like to talk about it because you're taking someone who's I'd love to get him on a call, and I want to know what he's done to help somebody get their first $100 in their pocket or pay for their kids college. And here this is what we try to do, and it looks like it is working. And he hasn't done any of those things. So very, very frustrating for me. So I'm gonna stop talking about it because I get pretty upset about those things.
Yep. But at least as opposed to every other company, he's already apologized for being wrong about it. But just ignore it from now on and don't joke about it, Roger. I mean, when you said that, I was like, what? Again?
All right, okay. Hitesh, why don't you go ahead and wrap this up?
Wrap it up, Hitesh.
Okay. All right. Fine. I will wrap it up. So I just want to say.
And he's been muted. Roger, would you like to wrap it up?
I'd love to wrap.
Good night, everyone.
The organizer.